Welcome back. Today I'm thrilled to be able to take you through the first floor of our countryside project. You will have seen, or if you haven't yet, please do go back and have a look, where we took you through a tour of the ground floor of our countryside project, all behind the scenes of the transformation. And today I'm going to take you through the first floor. Some of the most beautiful parts of the project are the bathroom, so let's go and have a look. So here we've opened up the stairwell in order to be able to give you the elongated height and also to be able to make a feature of the pendant. Here we've got another one of the Tazani feature pendants, where this is called the Mitsu, and it creates a reflection on the wall of water. It's absolutely beautiful. So you'll notice we've not put any art into this space, so that actually the reflection creates the art itself. So here you'll also see that the handrail glides down. So again, this elegance that I was speaking to you about, where we've created the curvature and the flow, this curves beautifully down and then flutes out as a staircase. So earlier in the tour of the ground floor, I spoke a lot about pieces of art. I honestly feel that this staircase is a piece of art in itself. We've not overwhelmed it with the spindles. They are a very thin, fine line spindle that's painted. I did want to make sure these were as small as possible, so some of these are actually metal to be able to give better structure. So a lot of structural engineers will say the spindles have a structural requirement, which is absolutely accurate, but if you do want to go with a fine line detail, you can make sure that they're ultra slim, but equally you have a steel one hidden within the wooden. So you might see, that's a metal one. So you will see here, this is a metal versus the wooden. You can hear the difference between the textures, but you can't see because they're hidden. So it's a nice way to be able to give you the aesthetic requirements and the structural mixed in one. So now I'm going to take you through the hallway, where you're going to see on the landing here we've used panelling, but it's a traditional panelling, and we've got these lovely wall lights here, once again by Tazani. Coming into then one of my favourite bathrooms of the space, not the favourite, one of the favourite. You'll see my favourite on the top floor. Now this here is the family bathroom. As you can see, we're quite restricted with the size of this bathroom, so I had to be very clever with how we actually created the layout within the space, whilst making sure it was layered with all the luxury elements. So you'll notice that I speak a lot about not overlayering a space with too much overwhelming textures and depth and character. In here we have layered it, but not too much. We've got a lovely freestanding tub, but the tub has actually got a back shelf to it that's connected to the wall, so you can put your soaps, conditioners, anything you need, a drink, glass of wine, glass of bubbles, you can put it all on the side, so it's quite a nice little feature. And you'll see the windowsill here, we've actually cladded with the marble itself so that the shower can be within the bath. So it's all waterproof, it's all sealed, but it's beautifully dressed with the marble itself. This marble we call Florida White. Most suppliers will change the names of their products, but we call it Florida White. So as you can see here, we've actually put the shower head up into the ceiling, so you just see the slim profile of the shower head itself, you don't see the arm. That gives you elevated height, which is really important when you're actually showering in a bath, but it's also quite beautiful, the slimline effect. We've also got here a little alcove, which is really sleek, and it's actually curved. So again, going back to the curvature that we've discussed, this mosaic actually curves around the bath itself. A very hard feature to achieve for a tiler. Cannot tell you my tilers love me in any shape or form, but they all love a challenge. And here we have created a challenge where we have wrapped that curved mosaic around the bath itself. Then I gave my glass team a really large challenge, and I got them to actually shape this bespoke glass shower screen, which is tempered glass to ensure that it's an anti-break. But then that has been wrapped again around the bath. So it's all sleek, it's all considered. And the best part of all, which I do save the best parts to last, is here, the light up marble. So the light up marble here doesn't need to be switched on because it's a feature in itself, unlit. But when lit is so powerful and impactful. So in a small space, you can go fun, you can go impactful, and you can go luxurious. And here we really have. And not only is it incredibly beautiful, it's also practical. Behind this is hidden the cistern. So we couldn't hide the cistern in the wall here, which we all love to do. We like to be able to hide the cistern. So therefore we've made a feature out of it. And who says you can't make a feature out of the toilet space? So we've cladded it with the marble like we have the windowsill, and we've put a back lighting sheet behind it. It's an IP44 rated lighting sheet, so it's absolutely perfect for a bathroom. So this is a bespoke sink unit that we've put in. It's all wall mounted. The marble is absolutely exquisite because not only does it complement the marble within the room, it's also got a marble waist cover, which is beautiful, so therefore you don't see any of the metal inserts behind. And then here we've got a bespoke sink unit that has been made by Contrast Timbers for us Fred at Contrast Timbers actually went to school with me, so knows me very, very well and knows exactly how much hard work I am, but also knows how important it is to me to get it absolutely perfect when I design a piece. So this, he's put a slow close in, he's put the shaver socket inside the drawer, which is a really important detail because the last thing you want is a clumsy shaver socket on the wall when you've designed such a beautiful space. So we always put them in the drawer. They're practical, you can charge your toothbrush within the drawer itself, and then when you're ready, it closes as a soft close. Beautifully made, Fred, thank you. So the guests who would be using this bathroom would also be using these bedrooms. So come in and have a look at the guest bedrooms that we've created. So in here, we've actually not got masses of space, so we've been quite impactful with the design. This was actually a bed that the clients wanted to reuse from the property before, but they wanted to bring in feature bedrooms of different colors. Now, we don't always do feature bedrooms, because it is really nice for your house to flow from the beginning to the end. But the clients want to be able to call their bedrooms the blue room, the yellow room, the pink room, so it's quite nice for guests. So this room, we've gone a little bit bold in. We've got Strong White by Farrow & Ball on the walls, and the bed is in Pitch Blue by Farrow & Ball. The lamps here are by somebody who I've loved working with throughout my career, and that is Tyson. So Tyson come up with really unique designs for their lamps, and here this is a handmade lamp as a pair for the bedroom. Lamps are important to me because they actually create a much better mood for a space. It's warm, it's inviting, and they also dress it with extra texture and detail. So there's lots of reasons why to use lamps, not only for the aesthetical needs, but also for the comfort within the home. We've then given them scallop lampshades, which is lovely. So the dressing that you can do with your lampshades is just an extra feature detail. So here we've got a linen shade with a contrast blue trim, and it's scalloped. So it's quite beautiful, something a bit different. You'll also notice with the cushions on the bed, we've actually done a center trim across the center of the cushion. So again, you can go with something really plain in terms of a suede, but then to be able to do a central trim is just a nice little detail. This is by Samuel & Sons, who we love to use for our trims. And then have a look at our gorgeous bedding. You can't feel it, but I can, and it's absolutely fabulous. So this is by Julie Nicholson. Julie Nicholson does the most exquisite bedding, and I would highly recommend you look into her bedding, purely because it feels so beautiful to get into, but equally it's got such lovely design details. You can do bespoke color threads, you can choose your own finish, your own designs. So it just allows you to make a feature of your bedding, which normally would be covered. So this is the yellow bedroom, because like I said, the clients wanted to have feature bedrooms. So in here we've used a Christopher Farr fabric, which is actually quite soft, and again it's got an arty element to the way that the design is captured. You will notice that the colours aren't too bold in the yellow, but we actually have complemented it with other shades of yellow, which is making it more impactful. The windowsill is actually painted in a Farrow & Ball yellow. I will put a note in what colour that is because it's not coming to my mind right now. And then again, we've done a similar detail with the cushions using a Samuel trim down the centre to make sure that it complements the bed and is a little bit different. And then we get a lot of comments about these lights, which are absolutely fabulous. So we quite often will do a pendant either side of the bedsides when you are limited with the space. So to have put a lamp on these bedsides would mean that you wouldn't have much space for a water glass or a book if you were using the bed. So for guests to have a warm light is really important, which we've done with the pendant, but it's off that bedside table to be able to make sure that you've got better use of the space. So Jonathan from Drawn to Lighting Design always puts in a bedside reading light, and it works really, really well, especially for guests, because they've got their own ability to be able to switch it on and off when they need to. It's just a lovely luxury. If you're going to be redoing your electrics, why not put in a reading light? So this here is one of my fave features because they're really slim profile. They move, which is lovely. And they also make the pillows look all homely and warm when you switch them on. So it looks more inviting to jump back into that bed. So in here, we've got our pink bedroom, as the clients would call it. All the beds in this property were made by Robert Langford. Robert Langford makes the most beautiful furniture, and his beds have got an absolutely beautiful shape. So here we've got a different shape. We actually have a different shape in every bedroom within the property. Here we've made an elegant shape that elongates the height, but also makes sure that it has a clever play on the width of the room. It steps in order to make the room feel bigger. We've then punctuated it with the pink thread lamps either side of the bed, and it's got beautiful silk bed linen, again by Julie Nicholson, with complementary thread. This room was designed for the son of the family, who is very close to me. At the time, he was 18 when we designed this room, so I wanted to make sure that I did him proud and did something fun and inviting. The headboard material was chosen for him by a really close family friend and designer, so it was really important that he use this. We therefore had Robert Langford create the bed using his fabrics to make sure that it was impactful, it's fun and hopefully will stand the test of time for the clients. We've then used heat-filled lamps either side of the bed flowing from the ceiling. So again, it's a fun feature in order to make sure that you get bedside lighting. These are glass and they're finished in a bronze glass. So they have an element of warmth, and again, the shape of them themselves have got an absolute elegance to them. So we also made sure that we put a desk space in this room in order for the client to be able to do any homework, anything related to his work, and it could also be used as a dressing space as well. This piece of art is very special to me. When I went looking for the art for this room, I just looked for anything that spoke to me, and you can see what it did for this space. It works really well with the very stylized lamp and then the velvet chair from Ochre. I do love the burnt orange. So this now brings us to the last room of this floor. This is the ensuite bathroom to the client's son's bedroom. So for this room, we wanted something that again was impactful, that would work well with the bedroom itself. And I'd hope you'd be inclined to agree that we came up with something quite creative for the space. So what we've done is we've done a contrast of the white with the darks. We always find with our designs, you'll always be inspired by something in order to get you started. So for this room, we were inspired by the Panda sink. So let me show you that. So the Panda sink has got a contrast between the dark and the light stone. This is a natural marble, and it was really important for us to be able to complement it. So we've complemented it with the dark marble floor, the dark marble back, and then we have bookmarked it with the white Calacatta marble. The beauty of this is that it makes the rest of the feature stone pop. So it's not fighting it, but it's complementing it. So you will notice that we've brought in a black fine line crystal detail on the shower glass, and then we have also put in a panda stone on the backsplash of the sink. We've then floated the mirror on top of the marble itself with an LED profile behind. So this creates a glow behind the mirror that's not visible. It's always important to me that we don't see the source of the light. Again, Jonathan from Drawn 2 has helped us a lot with this. It then actually makes that stone pop even more because you've got that glow behind it. And again, we've got another one of our bespoke sink units. This has been made again by Contrast Timbers. This has got then the slow close drawer detail. We're a little bit more careful with how we did this design. We've done mitered joints, so it's very sleek. And the walnut itself was very cleverly chosen, so you get the depth of the wood, so therefore it holds itself well against the impact of the stone. Within this wall, we noticed we had a bit of space, so we've also put an indented alcove. We wanted to make sure it was still impactful, so you've got the stone as the back here, and then you've got beautiful cabinetry detail, again by Contrast Timbers, that punctuates the space. So in this shower, we've done a similar situation where you actually have recessed the shower arm into the ceiling. So you've got that slimline detail, gives you the elevated height, and then we've done an elongated alcove here across the full length of the shower. It's a lovely design detail because it allows you to put an LED light where you don't see the source of the light itself, just a beautiful glow. So next I'm going to take you through the final floor of the property where the principal bedroom and ensuite is situated. My favourite parts of this project. However, I'm going to save this for tour number 3, where I'm going to take you through the transformation and all the creative elements that I put into place. So please subscribe so you hear about the next tour for when it goes live. Comment any queries you've got about the transformation so far on the floors that you have seen, and I look forward to seeing you very soon.